Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sunday matches for the CCA League Season 3. Today we have an interesting Division 4 match between the Seminole Cephalopods and the Irvine Valley College Diamond Rays. I am Jay Slosh. Joining me today is Elixil.
Hello.
And to start off today, we have a Rainmaker Brindwater Springs.
So, Brindwater Springs is going to be a pretty interesting match because this requires a lot of coordination because it's such a small map. Also, we see these two teams have anchors, so we could also see anchors that set up on Brindwater. Do you know anything about these teams?
I haven't gotten to see these two teams in particular play yet, but I'm excited to see how they manage to make this map work. Like you said, the backlines could definitely be a very those lines. So that being said, yeah, I'm interested to see how these teams perform.
Definitely. So are you good, DRF?
All right, we're back. Doesn't seem to have. All right, so as we get ready for this match, let's see what we got. Yeah, like we've been mentioning, backline is very strong in this map, but you do have to be watching for those left side drops in case somebody wants to do a cheeky little flank, because if you don't pay attention to that, that could be very dangerous. So I'm excited to see how these teams decide to combat each other here on this map, on the Rainmaker Brindwater.
And I'm noticing that FSU is like already just like, we are going to be the ones to, like, I don't know, show our who we are. This which, you know, confidence is always good to see.
For sure, FSU has almost definitely planned this map out, considering how quickly they readied up there. Looks like the Seminole Cephalopods taking a bit longer to kind of discuss with themselves and figure out what exactly they want to be doing here.
But I think that's IVC actually.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had the name switched. You're right. You're right there. IVC taking a moment to ready their strategy, make sure that they are prepared for the set, and we're going to be getting into this game one very, very soon.
And here we go.
All right, let's see what we got here on Rainmaker Brindwater. We do have an E leader coming out from the side of the Diamond Rays, as well as a Hydra Spotling from FSU. Like two backlines, two very slow backlines here on this very mobile mode. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, but I also noticed that both teams have a sword on each side for that faster mobility. One just opting for the Wiper and one chose the Stamper. And this leader is already setting up and hoping to exert some pressure over mid. And that crab is trying to really keep everyone away.
Yeah,
what do you see?
In that opening, two going down on the side of the Seminole Cephalopods meant that IVC got to pick out the Rainmaker, but now we saw the Wiper and then later the Splash go down for the Diamond Rays. Now with 3 down on the side of IVC, Seminole Cephalopods is going to get their chance to make their counter push, especially if they can continue to stagger like this. This could be a very good thing if they can keep up this pressure.
And they do use the buoy on the checkpoint, and they got the checkpoint with that added protection. However, everyone went down except for Hydra, and Hydra has to now play a little bit safe. And it seems like everyone is like going after this, like just holding Rainmaker instead of like waiting it out, which is interesting to see.
Yeah,
as we see the Hydra go down.
Yeah, the Hydra goes down, another one down. That's almost 3 down there, but a very clutch kill there from the Junior, who then goes down. The Stamper behind the Rainmaker, not able to find the pick, as the Rainmaker pushes all the way to 31 before getting taken out by that Hydra. The Rapid Blaster now trying to put out some pressure, finds an assist, 2 down on the side of the Cephalopod, of the Diamond Rays. This push is over.
Yeah, but that was a very strong start, and they can honestly, because of how Brownwater is, they could just probably hold their lead and not have to worry too much as they just pop another crab on the Rainmaker.
Yeah, the Crab not really managing to find anything, and now another 2 down situation for the Diamond Rays. A very dangerous position as the Splash now goes down. It's a stagger for the Diamond Rays. The Seminole Cephalopods are going to be able to top this Rainmaker and might be able to get some pushes going, especially with those specials online. The Inkjet coming out here as the Seminole Cephalopods are trying to retake this lead.
But there was playing specials pot, but that Rainmaker got immediately sniped, so they couldn't really do too much, which is a bit unfortunate. And yeah, one goes down on the side of FSU. And this Rainmaker is barely able to move at all. Like IVC is holding their position very strongly.
And here we see the power of the E-Leader on this map, just able to hold down that space and lock down the entirety of that ramp. But the E-Leader has gone down, now is the only player alive, finds the pick just in time to delay this push while their team gets back in, and now it's a 4 versus 3 advantage for the Seminole Cephalopods, as the Rainmaker is just keeps going down and they can't seem to find the lead that they're desperately looking for. Only a minute and a half left on the clock with the advantage to the Diamond Rays.
And we see another crab popped out, and I think the FSU needs to back away, or else they will still get staggered from this. And they are absolutely fine. As 2 go down from the side of IVC.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Trying to drop the Rainmaker off the edge. They're not quite reaching that before Seminole Cephalopods finds them. But I'm not sure how good this push is going to be with that pincer movement coming in.
It looks like they did a little bit of a panic wave break, unfortunately, to try to deter some space. But IVC is still holding very strong to their lead. And now they're just going to probably wave them out? Oh no, I think they're still waiting them out.
Yeah, it looks like IVC wants to make another push here. The Crab is popped, the Rainmaker's moving. It's 3 down for the Seminole Cephalopods. If IVC can get this KO, or even just a couple more points, it could help to extend their lead and make this just a little bit more secure. Only able to find 2 more points, but with just about 10 seconds left on the clock here, Seminole Cephalopods has to make a miracle happen.
Yeah, and I don't know. We have. Oh, and I was about to say something, but Rainmaker goes down. That's game 1 to IVC.
Yeah, just not. Unfortunately, the Rainmaker just getting caught out there on the left side after dropping off of the ramp by almost the entirety of IVC meant that they weren't able to make that final push. Just some really clutch picks by the E-Leader on the side of the Diamond Rays meant that Seminole Cephalopods just couldn't seem to find the lead that they were looking for, even when they had the advantage. So the first game goes to the Diamond Rays.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that. I mean, Diamond Rays for this CCA so far they've been dominating their group right now, with week one and week two being 4-1. So I think we may see some, we think the IVC may still hold a strong position within their own group. And we're moving on to Eeltail Claim Blitz. What do you know about this map, J Slosh?
Well, Eeltail Clams, Eeltail itself is a very narrow mode, but in order to push on Clam Blitz, you need to make sure you have control of your opponent's bridge and their opponent's and your left plat, because otherwise you're going to be at a height disadvantage every time you try to score. So you have to be able to maybe put a crab there or put a triple ink strike or something along those lines in order to maintain any sort of push on this map. And in order to get there, you need to find the picks. So I think this could be a very interesting map, especially if one of these teams decides to go for a more aggressive option, like perhaps a heavy splatling or even a backless comp entirely.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? We could also see some of the crack and cheat strats, maybe. But I mean, it seems like both teams are kind of opting out for that, and going for more standard comps involving crabs and wipers.
Yeah, although you never know, perhaps somebody has the pocket crack-on roller that we don't see coming. But let's see what these teams decide to bring to this match on Clam Blitz Eeltail.
And there's the Kraken weapon, along with E-Leader and Hydra staying the same.
Yeah, once again, two slow backlines here for this map. But really, what this is going to be about is two things. One, you have to trying to move the enemy backline, and two, trying to, especially for Seminole Cephalopods, trying to avoid getting Kraken cheesed. So. It looks like we've got the 96 setting up here on mid, trying to find some picks. IVC has taken early control of mid, it looks like, but they're already a player down, which means the Seminole Cephalopods might be able to make a push here if they can get another pick.
And it seems like Brush is trying to hold the enemy bridge quite well, as a topper zip cast and get one. And almost got second, but got shut down immediately.
Yeah, this 96 gal here just holding on for dear life, managing to avoid dying to the brush twice in a row, as they now get pushed too far up in their mid and get punished for it by the Seminole Cephalopods, who are now in full control of mid. They have the Booyah Bomb ready. They have 15 clams. This could be huge if they can get this push going, and it could start with this Viper, but he goes down.
And now there's two down on the side of Seminole Cephalopods, so we could see a push happening because they have pretty much all their specials up. And yes, they're going to go for it. Basket is now open with two power clamps thrown in with some extras.
Yes, but that push cost them 3 of their members, only the E-Leader escaping with their life. So the Seminole Cephalopods are going to be able to take free control of mid, and the brush is already in the back line. 2 are now down on the side of the IVC Diamond Rays, as the Seminole Cephalopods are making a strong push here. They just need to get that power clamp to basket, but it's not moving.
But I think we could see something, as the Seminole Cephalopods pretty much mimic exactly what IVC just did to them with throwing 2 powers in. But this time with a stronger pushback than IVC.
Yeah, man, and keep that basket open. Gets down to 36 points remaining, 33. The clams are still coming, but the players on the Seminole Cephalopods are falling. The brush and the splash now backing out to mid, wisely keeping their lives and their specials alive. Down to 18 points, an amazing opening push there by the Seminole Cephalopods. If they can just hold this for the rest of this game, even if they don't push it again, this could be a very quick game 2 victory for them.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't count on the IVCs out just yet. There's still 2 minutes on the clock, and we never know what can happen within Clam Blitz.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, especially now that that splash goes down on the IVC Diamond Rays, trading out for that brush. 3 specials are online for IVC, but they've refrained from using any of them quite yet. Hoping perhaps to get a pick before going in. The crab now popped from the Seminole Cephalopods as the Tri-Strikes come out to counter it. Let's see if IVC can make something happen.
Yeah, but I mean, they also could be also waiting for just getting enough clams to make a power for pushing. And the nice pick from Sapphire onto the enemy side.
Yeah, the Seminole Cephalopods now in a full stagger as the IVC Diamond Rays are in full control, scoring those clams, just hoping to keep that basket open long enough to get that pity clam in as another player just goes down on the side of the Seminole Cephalopods. The power clam's coming in, and it's going to go down. Oh, the power clam goes down. They can't score it.
And it seems like they're really trying, but I think they all got collapsed, and it's a wipeout on the side of IVC. So, and it seems like the Seminole Cephalopods are now trying to take control of mid, hoping that they can start another push.
It's going to have to be a lot of clams put into that basket because of the 41-point penalty that is on the Seminole Cephalopods right now. They need to get something big happening, and they need to get it within the next 30 seconds. They do have a power clam, but they don't have the specials. The Hydra is going to go down to this crab, not winning that firefight, meaning that they are at yet another disadvantage. This is not looking good for them right now, but if they can build the specials and find the picks, they could still win this game.
And it could be. I mean, their splash just went down, but it's now for one splash, and the brush goes down too. Oh, and there's 3 down on the side of Seminole Cephalopods, and that's game.
Yeah, just not quite able to find their way in. They did successfully defend their basket from the knockout, but not enough to maintain their lead, and they just couldn't get the opening that they desperately needed to get the lead back. So the IVC Diamond Rays take that game in a very close 6-point difference.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very close match and very good, like, showing of Clam Blitz, where it doesn't matter, like, how far ahead your lead is. If you can somehow stagger the enemy team, you can just keep that basket open and eventually retake it.
Yeah, the IVC Diamond Rays doing everything they needed in their push to maintain that basket opening. Just a really well-played game there by the Diamond Rays. As we move on here to Game 3 on Splat Zone's Manta Maria, what are your thoughts?
Splat Zone's Manta Maria falls under some of the issues of a lot of the newer maps, where it's just a very cramped mid, and with the dual zones, it's going to be a constant firefights, I think, and for both zones. And we could see some like sloshers or machines or even slatlings, because they do very well on this map.
Yeah, if they do bring, I believe it was Seminole Cephalopods who had that Hydra, if they bring that back, putting a Hydra on the grates in mid is a very dangerous place for a Hydra to be if you're trying to push into it. So I'm excited to see if that comes out here. And I think you're exactly right. If these teams can maintain equal footing, it's going to be just a firefight and almost a death match on the zones, hopefully. So I'm excited to see what these teams will bring. Maybe the Kraken will come out, maybe it won't. We will just have to see as these teams discuss their strategies.
It seems like two are already ready for on the side FSU, and same for IVC. So it seems like they're getting their strategies in play, and the game begins.
All right, here we go. Splat Zones on Manta Maria. We do see a backlineless comp coming out from the Diamond Rays and a heavy splatling from the Seminole Cephalopods. Very more aggressive teams or team comps than either of these teams have brought in the past. So I'm very excited to see how these teams will decide to play this out, the double bucket comp from the Diamond Rays.
As a Tri-Slosher immediately goes down. And it's also interesting to see that, there is IVC's running double crab, so I think they're really trying to go and use those crabs to exert as a crab goes down.
Now 2 down on the side of the Diamond Rays. The Seminole Cephalopods able to maintain their control here with the Stamper in that bunker area. The timer is just ticking down and ticking down. The Stamper using that Zipcaster, but gets shut down by Crab. But the Crab only able to find that one pick as IVC is looking to push back in here and take these zones.
And it seems like they're trying to fight for the zone as IVC has capped one and is about to cap the other, and now they have full control. As three go down on the side of Seminole Cephalopods.
Yeah, the last player alive, being that Rapid Blaster, gets a couple of jumps in, but well, I'm not sure what happened there, but they must have been pushed off by one of the members of the Diamond Rays. Just too much pressure being put out. The Crab now sitting on that top rate.
Oh!
Really can't challenge that, even with that heavy swelling. But the Crab goes in, and there's a disconnect on the side of the Diamond Rays.
They could play it out, but I'm not sure if that's how the exact DC rules, because there's the 49 points. But IVC now needs to really work really hard as all of them go down because of the DC disconnect.
Yeah, it looks like these teams are going to opt to play it out. My assumption would be that it's just not able to be replayed because of the scores on the board. So now IVC, in a permanent 3 versus 4 disadvantage, is going to have to just make something crazy happen if they want to take this game. Seminole Cephalopods retaking the lead and just sitting in a very, very comfortable position here with the entirety of IVC down once again.
Yeah, IVC needs to work around their crabs in order to hold any strong position, but with the one member down, they're not going to have as much pain compared to Seminole Cephalopods. And we're on the single digits now. And I think that's game for the Seminole Cephalopods.
Yeah, just a very unfortunate disconnection by the machine player on the side of the IVC Diamond Rays. Means that Seminole Cephalopods gets pretty much a free win there. Just with how short-ranged IVC was and the permanent man disadvantage. So that puts Seminole Cephalopods on the board. And I'm sure IVC Diamond Rays is not going to be happy about that one.
And we should be waiting on the other person. And next map should be DC on Undertow Spillway, as they're also having to get that underway. Do you have any comments about DC Undertow? Because I definitely have some opinions about this map.
While it's not my favorite map in the game, I know that there is definitely some use for brush here with that Zipcaster. If you can get in behind your opponents with it and cause some distractions, your team can move in and get some kills. So I think we could definitely see the Octobrush making a return from these teams on this map. What are your thoughts?
I think having seen if the Octobrush or the Stamper use Zipcast to try to get onto the enemy's glass area could definitely be very strong and be able to help their respective backlines.
Yeah, and Tower just being such a snowbally mode means that you need to be able to deny your opponent's checkpoints as much as you can, especially that second checkpoint is so important to clear because it sits right next to the opponent's spawn at the spawn region. It's super easy to defend for the opponent, so you need to be able to put specials there and put crab there or something to deny your opponents that space and clear that checkpoint. So I think This map will, I think, will very heavily revolve around who can clear those checkpoints the fastest.
Yeah, but it seems like after that last victory, FSU, I think, really has a plan for how to take down the IVC Diamond Rays.
Yeah, this again must have been another comp they either planned out or one that they just feel like their last comp is going to work well on. If they can take this game, then they'll be in a tied position 2-2. But if they lose this game, then it'll be game point for IVC Diamond Rays. So this is very important for FSU to take this game so that they can stay in this set.
And it looks like we're gonna get things underway as it's game time.
Alright, let's see what these teams decide to go for. The Diamond Rays bringing out a Clash Neo as well as a Bow. The Seminole Cephalopods bringing almost the same comp, except for that Junior, I believe, is new. So these teams going for, especially Diamond Rays, going for a bit of an unconventional comp, but let's see how it works out for them.
As the Bow and me gets taken out, I think they may have stood there a little bit too far. And Junior's already starting to get points on the board for FSU.
The Junior and the Heavy both standing on that tower means it's going to be really hard to approach. With the Tri-Strikes coming out, meaning that they have to leave that tower. The T-Tech finds 2 picks there. 3 now down on the side of the Seminole Cephalopods. That's a full wipe as the IVC Diamond Rays just hold back, allow their opponents to take that checkpoint, and then just completely wipe them out in preparation for their own push here with 2 specials up, now 3 ready to go.
And I think they may be waiting on the IVC to get to that checkpoint before specials get popped. As Crab gets popped, they start denying the second checkpoint. But FSU defends their base and is able to get tower back.
Yeah, it was a full wipe on the side of the Diamond Rays, but now they're all back as it's now 2 down on the side of FSU, and they're not quite able to take the lead, just 1 point off as the jump in gets camped, and now they're in a full stagger as IVC is going to take this tower and is going to begin another push in the opposite direction. But the clash goes down. It's a 3 versus 4, now 2 versus 4. This push can't continue.
Yeah, Bo is forced to retreat and is now popping Killer Whale on tower to deter people from it. Oh, and a zip from out of nowhere. I almost got the Tri-Stringer.
Yeah, a very important pick coming out here as the splash on IVC goes down, meaning that they won't have a Crab for this defense. But at the same time, the Seminole Cephalopods just haven't managed to maintain the tower. There's just been too much pressure here from the Diamond Rays and for them to maintain control of the tower. Now a trade coming out between the Clash and the Junior, and the Bow goes down to that 96 gal. Now on tower, it's only the Splash left alive as FSU is looking to make a strong push here.
And it seems like they may be popping Kraken to go try to get past that checkpoint as, yep, they exactly do that. And there's the checkpoint cleared, and Big Buller replaced it. They are really knowing how to try to use their specials together.
The Junior just trying to get as many points as they can there to extend that lead. The Tri-Strikes coming out aren't really going to accomplish much of anything, it looks like. They prefer to clear that right side of the map. IVC Diamond Rays now has to be able to build up specials and keep themselves alive so that they can make another push back. But this is a good start with 3 down on the side of the Seminole Cephalopods.
And it seems like this Clash is now going to try sharking FSU with popping the big super chumps.
pressuring that heavy, doesn't manage to find the kill. Now in a very bad position. Manages to not die immediately, but does go down. The second checkpoint, however, is cleared. They were able to provide a good enough distraction so their team didn't have to burn too many specials on the defense of that checkpoint. Now IVC in the lead. Just as Sniper left alive goes down. The tri-strike's coming out. This could be the game if FSU can't make something happen. But the players are all in their spawn. It's going to timer, and that's it.
That was very well played from IVC, just keeping the distractions up. Because I mean, that's honestly the best way to take an objective is just like making sure they don't pay attention to objective.
For sure. Just the clash and then the T-Tag just taking their attention away from the tower meant that IVC was able to get to just kind of stand on tower without being pressured too much, and that allowed them to take lead and eventually the game. A very well played offense there by the Diamond Rays, keeping calm and not freaking out after the lead was lost to FSU's initial push.
But now it's now match point for IVC Diamond Rays, so the Seminole Cephalopods really need to figure out something in order to break down IVC on the next map, which is going to be a Rainmaker on Scorch Gorge.
Rainmaker Scorch Gorge is a very interesting map mode. You do technically have two options, but most teams will really only take the right path instead of taking the grates, because that's just the easier place to defend. But it can be very dangerous no matter where you go if you can't clear out your opponent's top area for that snipe area. I think that could be a very powerful place to put an E-Leader or a heavy Splatling or a Hydra even. Especially with the mid tower being so much smaller on this mode.
Yeah, though I mean, we've seen Zipcast weapons, and Zipcast can also can zip to this enemy snipe. So who knows? It could be like the backlines versus Zipcaster, pretty much.
And Zipcaster is a special we've seen from both teams already this set, so I think you could be absolutely right there. Backliners versus Spider-Man could be the matchup here on Scorch Rainmaker.
It seems like they're almost ready. FSU is now fully ready. And we just gotta see what IVC is thinking about.
IVC probably strategizing exactly how they're going to lock away this set, because they know that they just have to win one more game to take it home. And here we go. We're getting into what could be the last match of this set if IVC can pull off another win like they have in the past few games.
And then there's the E-Leader that we were expecting, and the Hydra we were also expecting.
Yep, those slower backlines going to be very good here because of their extreme range on this map. Looks like we're going to be getting a kind of a nice wide opening here from the IVC Diamond Rays, taking early control of mid. But the Wiper there trying to make something happen underneath that ledge gets picked off as the E-Leader now is moving into position to try and snipe down the players of Seminole Cephalopods.
And they're going to try pushing tower as the nasty pick on the Hydra.
Yeah, Brush goes down. The Wiper does manage to pick off that Rainmaker before they can get checkpoint, but IVC still in control of mid. Still has a very good position here, especially now that they're once again at a man advantage with that tacticaler online for them. But the NZAP does go down, meaning that it's going to be an even game here as FSU is looking to push back in and take the checkpoint for themselves.
As the Brush trades with the Splash, and the Rainmaker is patiently waiting for just an advantage, but playing a bit of a chicken with the E-Leader, it seems like.
Yeah, FSU has to move that E-leader before they can get going because it just has kind of the Eye of Sauron effect. If the E-leader sees you, you have a very high chance of dying. So, and it looks like it's a full wipe here on the Seminole Cephalopods. The IVC Diamond Rays able to get that full wipe. Probably going to be able to take this checkpoint too with the double tacticaler online. The Wiper there trying their absolute best to defend it, but the brush is going down. Players are just going down all over the place here as IVC is just hoping to get to that checkpoint before they go down.
And the checkpoint goes down. The IVC is still holding quite strong with their crabs. And
a little bit of a side fight going on with the brush and the E-leader. The brush does manage to find the pick, but at the cost of allowing the Diamond Rays to get another push off here. Is going to be coming in from behind. But they jump back out and get punished for it. And now the Diamond Rays in striking distance of the... what was that?
It seems like they were trying to like bait the enemy almost. Or actually, what is going on? So confused.
Yeah,
as they reset the Rainmaker.
Okay, that certainly was a push. FSU dropping the Rainmaker off, trying to get it out of their spawn, and then trying to get themselves out of their own spawn here, as IVC is just maintaining this control very, very well. Wiper going in to push that Rainmaker, but does go down. Now it's a 3 versus 2 with the Tacticaler online. And in fact, 2 Tacticalers are ready for the Diamond Rays as they look to make another potentially game-ending push.
And the Rainmaker gets a pick on the Hydra. And it seems, and they're pushing it. And oh, so close to the final podium.
Yeah, the brush barely able to clutch it out, but IVC does manage to take that game and with it take the set. So that is 4-1 for IVC Diamond Rays as they continue their winning streak here in Division 4. But we still have yet to see if these teams will decide to play out the rest of the set. Just a very, very dominant set there by IVC Diamond Rays, despite Seminole Cephalopods taking leads multiple times and maintaining their kind of aggressive pushes. IVC just was relaxed. They pushed back in when they needed to. They built their specials. They found the picks. Just beautiful gameplay there by the Diamond Rays, punishing everything that the Cephalopods were not quite doing correctly.
And it seems like we're going to be doing a playoff 7. So we're going to be moving on to Columbus Umami Ruins. Now, me personally, I don't really know too much about this map. I've played it like I think once or twice on like the Anarchy rotations, and it was kind of weird. So I'm curious as how IVC and FSU are going to approach this match.
Yeah, Clams Umami, a very small map. You don't have to push very far to get to basket. So I've played it a couple times and I've seen it on streams a couple times. Typically what you see is you see Kraken, you see Triple Link Strike, and you see Crab, which I know is kind of the staples of the meta anyway, but really what you need to be able to do is you have to be able to play kind of a fake 2-2 split, almost like Can't Triggerfish in the previous game, but not quite as drastic, because you need to be able to control both the left and right sides of mid. Looks like the teams here also a bit stumped on what they want to do for this new map.
Yeah, but I
I
mean, it's
think
an excellent way to test new weapons. Since I mean, the set's over, so it's essentially just a streamed scrim, essentially.
yeah, uh, that's one of the benefits of the way that CCA does things is that you get a couple of extra free matches against your opponent even after the game is over. But here we go. We're getting into game 6, I believe it is, for fun on Clam Blitz Umami. And the double NZAP 89 coming out from the Diamond Rays, I believe that is.
I mean, I think they want to see how. I mean, Super Jump's a great way to try to push in. So, I mean, if you can just overwhelm your enemies with just balloons, I mean, it can work. It's just we gotta see how they do try to use that.
Yeah, 2 specials now online for the Diamond Rays. Nobody has yet gone down. As the Heavy is going to go ahead and pop that Wave Breaker, try and get their team some more control over mid. As the Cephalopods are looking to take early control here. Oh, but the double jump! It looks like. Oh, yeah, here's the second one. Here's the second jump coming out as the Kraken takes advantage of it. Seminole Cephalopods FSU so distracted by so many jumps that they weren't looking out for the Diamond Rays' actual players, meaning that they get to get a bunch of clams here and get a score.
And they now are at 65, and with the basket still decently open, like they can score a few more. And yep, as two on both sides go down, but the basket is still holding decently strong. But I think this could be the end of the push because no one owns that basket.
Yeah, the Diamond Rays last player just barely managing to get those last couple of clams in, and I believe it was the Ink Brusher player on the side of the Seminole Cephalopods getting taken down by an auto bomb as they tried to pop their Wave Breaker. One now down on each side as IVC is trying to make yet another push.
It's a kind of a stalemate as the chumps try to get used, but everyone just pops those balloons so fast, and they can't move in too much.
Looks like the Kraken is going to be coming out, trying to get something done here. But even with that, oh, finds the heavy splatling, and with that, the barrier is open, but it looks like they're going to get picked off, and I'm not sure how much more IVC is going to be able to accomplish here with this push. But they do have players next to basket. Oh, and the score just suddenly dropped.
Yeah, as we have a DC on the side of IVC again, which is a bit unfortunate. Something must be going on with the internet at Irvine.
Yeah, just now with the permanent disadvantage that they now have, IVC has to play defensively. They don't have any more crab because the Splash player was the one who disconnected. So all they have to defend with are 2 super jumps and a Kraken. Which the 96 is hard to push into, but when you have 4 players, it could be a lot easier than it would be normally. So they just need to hold on to their lead at this point if they possibly can.
And this brush is really just going after everyone, and they kind of get a pick on one of the end zaps and pops a whale, allowing for a perfect opening to open that basket. But unfortunately, no one else was there to support the power claim holder.
Yeah, IVC managing to find 2 picks on the players who pushed up, meaning that the push was stopped in its tracks at just 80. But even with that, they just can't take control of mid because they don't have the players for it. And the NSAF goes down. It's now a 2 versus 4 for IVC as the Zip Catcher's coming out, and there's just too much going on here for IVC to be able to handle. The players from FSU is going to be able to get in here and score almost pretty much as many clams as they want.
Yeah, and the specials are coming out, but it's going to be very hard to try to deter any of the opponents because the balloons, the super chumps themselves, don't really have any imminent pressure and have to wait until they explode like after a few seconds.
Yeah, FSU able to push all the way down to 23. The push is going to end there, but in the process, they do find picks on the entirety of IVC, meaning that they're going to be able to maintain control of IVC's own spawn, and especially over this basket. So they're just going to go ahead and score again, and it's just going to be game over here for IVC.
And that's game. That was a bit of a rough match for IVC. I mean, they definitely seemed like they were trying their best, but with that one man disadvantage, I mean, it's very hard to just fight against 4 people.
Yeah, IVC might have put on a dominant showing during the main set, but it wasn't. There's not enough of a difference between these two teams for a 3 versus 4 to be even remotely feasible for IVC to win. So I'm sure they're very glad that this occurred after the set had concluded. And with that, it looks like we're going on to our final map here. Flat zones on Sturgeon Shipyard. What are your thoughts here on this map mode, Ollie?
I mean, this is a very large zone. Not the biggest, but still very much large. And backlines are quite prevalent. But I've also seen quite a lot of black bomb plays, which can be interesting because you can get some pretty cheeky plays in cap zone.
Yeah, I've seen teams even go for gold arrow spray here in some situations just to put out that extra paint on zone, which I don't expect to be coming out from these teams, but you never really know. But like you said, I do expect for the E-Leader and the Hydra to be coming out here from these teams on this zones map.
Yeah, but I mean, we could also, see a meme composition where it's just kind of just for fun, because it's another CCA tradition we tend to see besides the play all 7.
You are right. While I wasn't there for the 8 X-Bloshers in the first season, I have heard the tales of the meme compositions in the play all 7s. So. And we did get to see a little hint of that in the last game with the double super chump from IVC. So I'll be curious to see if these teams decide to go for something along those lines, and if so, what they decide to pick.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems constantly the FSU is almost ready before IVC. So I think FSU really did prepare their best to try face against such a tough opponent.
It looks like we're almost ready here for this game as the teams are readied up. And let's go into this game 7 on Splat Zone's Sturgeon Shipyard. Oh, there it is!
All right, and we have 3 golden arrow sprays on the side of FSU. I can't tell if this is a serious match for FSU or they're just having fun.
I think they're just having fun. I was kind of joking when I said about the gold arrow spray, but I guess FSU did not take it as a joke, because here they are with 3 gold arrow sprays. That being said, it looks like this is going to be an early advantage for the Diamond Rays here. The Range Blaster just taking care of business there, able to maintain control here, but falls into the abyss.
Yeah, and it's I think it could this match maybe just the oh my god, I'm a wipe out. Never mind. I was gonna say the aerospace would just have to just overwhelm with the opponent with just so many Booyah bombs, but leader is now set up and now they have to play. Oh, it's not leader, it's Squiffy. Sorry.
Yeah, all the players currently alive for the Seminole Cephalopods, with only 10 ticks left on the clock as the aerospray does go down. Heavy being distracted there by that Squiffer. Looks like this is going to be a very quick Game 7 as the triple aerospray comp unfortunately did not work out here for FSU.
Yeah, but I'm sure they had fun doing it.
Looks like we've also got the sunglasses gang here on IVC.
I mean, it may have not been like a weapon like meme composition, but I mean, you gotta dress the part if you want for Game 7. I mean, it's going to be you gotta do something. It's a Game 7.
Yeah. All right, and with that, looks like that will be the end of our set here today between the FSU Seminole Cephalopods and the IVC Diamond Rays, going to the Diamond Rays 4-1. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to catch the other sets we have today, both here on the CCA Twitch channel and on Splatoon Tourney, hosted by Falco Flyer. I have been J-Slosh. I've been joined by Elixil. Where can they find you, Elixil?
Hi, yes, you can find me on Twitter on Elixil68 for some occasional posts, and also you can catch me in like 3 minutes on Splatoon 20 as I have my own match. How about you, Jason?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at jslosh or on YouTube at jslosh, where I stream my competitive sets, both scrims and tournaments. Stop by, say hi whenever I'm live. And with that, thank you for stopping by. We will see you all in about an hour.